Since we have the camera on me, thank you, I must do a piece of spoken word for YouTube. This is live at the Black Cat Cafe in Raleigh, North Carolina, the center of the universe. At 69, when people hear that I do poetry, they have dubious expectations. So let me set the record straight for YouTube and the nation. Mock wars fought by little boys swinging chains of thought in the empty boxcars of my train of thought. My third eye was on the blink, but I think I saw it wink. Expression was set like braces. We did a dash for the cash. There was some scream on some racist faces for some brother left lying there, mashed on the track. And someone said, uh-oh, the ego is back. As the former terra firma farmer defects to the city, driven by his karma and the horror of his aura. He's blinded by the flashes from the past, but evolution is the only revolution that lasts. And that's when my 4-year-old, she turns to me in a child's rich simplicity. She says, Dad, you sure are heavy. But what she means is that I'm strong and that I'll resist the wrong. And it won't be long before I'm able to deal with my petty lower self, that deformed elf from off the astral shelf, hidden in the closet of one of my 7 houses. You see, we are all novelties, obviously, but why must we be for sale? I said, we are all novelties, obviously, but why must we be for sale? And where can you go to be sure that you know, except deep inside? There's no place else to hide from the mile-high, wide tide of tired lies. It's all of our decisions flow from our televisions. It's all of our decisions flow from our televisions. That subliminal criminal that silently schemes. His sermon is terminal. His targets your dreams, got you floating in limbo. You've chosen to lean, but you don't let them know, if you know what I mean. The subliminal criminal will kill off your kids and fill them with chemicals. So cells pyramid. He's so subliminal. He's such a criminal. As the contents of our supermarkets killed the mice in the labs of natives, raiders, and we sit in judgment on one child's behavior, not knowing that what you eat is what you are by far. You see, because we are all novelties, obviously. But why must we be for sale?
This next series of photographs are the work of Japanese researcher Mr. Masaru Emoto from his book, The Message from Water. Mr. Emoto's work provides factual evidence that human vibrational energy, thoughts, words, ideas, and music affect the molecular structure of water. Please remember that water comprises over 70% of a mature human body and covers the same amount on our planet. He freezes droplets of water, then examines them under a dark field microscope that has photographic capabilities. His work clearly demonstrates the diversity of the molecular structure of water and the effects of the environment upon the structure of the water. This photo is from the fountain in Lourdes, France. This photo is from contaminated water from the Yodo River in Japan. In this photo, we can compare the contaminated water with clean stream water. Look at the difference. Mr. Emoto decided to see what effects music would have upon the structure of water. He placed distilled water between two speakers for several hours while playing different music and then photographing the crystals that formed after the water was frozen. This photo is of water being exposed to Beethoven's Pastorale. This photo is the effect of Bach's Air for the G string on the water. This photo is of water being exposed to the Kawachi folk dance. This photo shows the effect of heavy metal music upon the water. Mr. Emoto decided to see how thoughts and words affected the formation of untreated distilled water crystals by typing words onto paper and then taping this paper onto glass bottles overnight. This photo shows the effects of the words, "Thank you." This next photo shows the effects of the words, "Love and appreciation." This photo shows the effects of the words, "You make me sick, I will kill you." And here we can compare the effects of "thank you" with the "you make me sick, I will kill you." Very, very different geometric forms being occurred through the intention. Now this photo is of a very polluted and toxic water from the Fujiwara Dam. Here now is the same water from the Fujiwara Dam after a Buddhist monk had offered a prayer over it. Prayer, that sound coupled with intention, seems to have an extraordinary ability of restoring water to its natural, harmonious, geometric symmetry. And in this photo we can compare the toxic water and then the effects of praying over the water.
In this video, I'm going to talk to you about subconscious mind reprogramming, and in particular, using affirmations and a combination of visualization to do that. So the problem with using affirmations is that what happens in our lives, how our subconscious has been programmed, is through experience, okay? It's about what we've heard, what we've experienced, and how our mind, our subconscious mind, has been wired as we've grown up. So this old conditioning is very, very strong within us, and it overtakes any time you try to program something new in. This is why people are unable to break free from that old conditioning. And what you must do is consciously override this, okay? And there are systematic ways to do that, and that's what I'm going to share with you throughout this video, and at the end particularly with the 2 keys. So what we have been programmed up until now, and I've noticed this in my personal life, is that we're quick to express dissatisfaction when something doesn't go our way. But whenever good things are happening, we never notice them. So what do you think happens when you do that? You start to attract more and more things that you focus on. If you focus on dissatisfaction and feel dissatisfied, you naturally attract those things into your life. You become a magnet for those situations. Like attracts like. when you start to become grateful and you consciously get to a point where you express gratitude towards the good things that are actually happening, what do you think happens? You attract more and more situations for you to be grateful towards, right? So I've been personally conditioned growing up to express dissatisfaction and complain when things don't go right. All right, and to give you an example of this, I remember when I was hitting my first 20K month in my business, and what I saw was that, oh no, at the end of the month, I actually was like, shit, if I signed those 3 extra clients, I would have been at more. I would have been more than 20K. Man. Instead of being grateful of being able to hit the 20K month, I was ungrateful for not being able to sign the 3 extra clients. And at the end of the month, I would always think about the clients that I didn't sign rather than the ones that I did. Okay? While this may be helpful to a point where you sort of work on improving your skills. Let's say, why didn't I sign those 3 clients? We don't do it dispassionately. More often than not, this is more emotional, and we emotionally charge that sort of reaction. Okay? As a result of that, we start attracting more and more of that. Life sees that, you're not grateful? Oh, okay, here's more things to be ungrateful for. Life doesn't distinguish between positive and negative. They're both attractive. If you have positive attention on something, you're going to attract more and more of positive situations. If you have negative attention on something, you're going to attract more and more of negative situations. If you're neutral about something, then you don't attract. Okay? Positive and negative have the power to attract. So the goal right now is to get to a point where you consciously ditch that old way of thinking and adopt a newer way of thinking. So now I'm going to share with you why most people fail with affirmations. Okay, this is tied into the previous concept that I was discussing, expressing dissatisfaction rather than expressing satisfaction. So most people fail with affirmations because there is no proof of this affirmation. Okay, the mind won't want to accept an idea that's just a theory. It needs concrete proof. This is just how the mind works. If you don't see it in physical reality, it won't want to accept it. This is just because of our sense perceptions. Okay, this is what the mind takes in. Now, it's important that you get your mind to accept new ideas, because then the possibility opens up for you to get bigger and bigger. This is where confirmations come in. Okay? So what I want to share with you right now is really what is an affirmation, what does it do in our minds, what is a confirmation, and what does it do? So an affirmation, essentially what it does is it launches a new design. Okay? So this is the beginning, the blueprint of a new design. So anytime you have an idea, it begins as an affirmation. Right? So you say, I want to be confident. Okay, let's write down a affirmation of Quasi is confident. Quasi attracts women. Quasi attracts the right kind of business partners. Quasi attracts the right kind of prospects and prospective clients into his business. Right? So that's me launching a new idea. But the mind won't want to accept this because there's no proof of it. All right? So what you got to do is your mission becomes consciously expressing gratitude for when it happens. This is where confirmations come in. A confirmation actually establishes the design and makes adjustments to it. So the confirmation establishes the design in physical reality. So you need to work with both, okay? You need to work with both the affirmation and the confirmation, because what we're taught to do now is to just say affirmations and that's it. The job is half done, right? If you don't get to a point where you're consciously confirming your affirmations, then you will unconsciously fall back to that old process of finding proof for why you don't attract ideal clients. So to give you an example, let's say my affirmation is, Quasi attracts ideal clients. And then maybe I get someone who's messaging me who seems like a qualified prospect, and I say, see, Quasi does attract ideal clients. I do attract ideal clients. This is working. Even though this client hasn't come into my program, I still say that to myself anyways, because we're looking for the tiniest speck of proof. Okay, that's what you want to do. You want to look for the tiniest speck of proof that opens up the possibility for this to happen. Because as you keep confirming it more and more, you keep attracting that situation more and more. And this sort of ingrains in your mind that, yes, Quasi is qualified. Quasi does it. Quasi is this kind of person. So your self-image as a whole changes, okay? Key number one, what you want to do first of all is create a list of affirmations that you say to yourself. Let's say around 10 to 15, right? So you want to create a list of affirmations. Maybe I would recommend ideally creating a list of 10, and every single morning say them to yourself and visualize yourself achieving these affirmations and these affirmations being a reality in your life, okay? Make a list of 10. First thing you wake up in the morning, when your mind is the most, your subconscious is the most moldable, say the affirmations to yourself. Key number two, what you want to do is use your daily life, your day-to-day living, to find proof of this confirmation, of this affirmation being confirmed, okay? So let's say mine is, I'm confident women pay attention to me. I'm confident prospective clients come. Throughout the day, I see a woman looking at me for more than 10 seconds. I'm like, oh, I am attractive, yes. Or I go on prospecting activities on Facebook and I see, oh, look, someone just reached out to me and is interested in my program. Great. It's working. I'm attracting prospective qualified clients who are, good and a fit for my program. Quasi is confident. Quasi does have a good program. The affirmation is being confirmed. Okay, that's the point you want to get to. And what you also especially want to do is at nighttime, right before you fall asleep, you want to actually see the confirmations as well. So you want to analyze through your day and find the tiniest bit of proof when this affirmation has actually happened. I promise you, if you do this process for 30 days, your whole life will change. You will look back at 30 days and be like, holy shit, look at this. Like my whole life has changed. Because what's going to happen is it's going to build up. Okay, these confirmations are going to build up and you're going to completely transform yourself. This is subconscious programming at its best.
Well, I asked my angel elf, servant of my higher self, why should thoughts be controlled? And she complied to help. After it is all boiled down, creative thought is all that's left. After thought, there is nothing else. She says, I am your thought genie. You created me. I'm all your thoughts collected. Your head is an entity. Your desire to know the truth is what has brought me here. When the student is ready, the teacher will appear. If you let your mind wander any way you please, soon your health will wander yonder, and pretty soon you'll sneeze. If you let your mind ponder on what you think you need, a mental garden you will plunder by producing weed seeds. Well, let me show you a better way, my friend. We can claim this day, bring this darkness to an end. We must have faith that all of us create in our innate divinity. What you thought is what you call. That's what you thought. That's what you brought. That's what you thought you took for granted. That's what you brought to the planet. Is what you thought. Ba ba da, rusha de ba ba ba, do sha ba da 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 da, with it. 'Cause what you thought is what you call. What you thought is what you call. If on the other hand you ponder bright sunshine, thoughts you will find produce after their own kind. Thoughts non-discreet can give you aching feet. Thoughts held of lack may give you aching back. Thoughts of self-division could give you rheumatism. Watch out for the grapes, 'cause you might get the mumps. Some say the black man's thoughts hate. darken his vehicles, and the bad vibrations turn into sails shaped like sickles, while the silent majority ponders thoughts of hate, which in turn turns into tomorrow's earthquakes. Selfishness, top of list of the things I would not do. One day you'll understand that your small self isn't you, and just this selfishness, see it for what it is. You'll find this impishness is just a gang of fears. You turn on the light, you know the clouds begin to clear. You gotta believe in your own ability, cause what you call is what you call. That's what you brought, that's what you thought, that's what you call is what you brought, that's what you thought, that's what you call. So the slave, he thinks the slave master is at fault. The slave master hates anyone who can be bought. But the liberated man loves them both the same, but refrains from their ignorant games. Now the fat, a politician can't stoop so low as his shoes tied together in a karmic bow. And they all pray together, P-R-E-Y, as we all know, as they reap just what they sow. And we live in daily friction of cosmic contradictions in all of our afflictions, of emotional addictions, in daily superstition of self-imposed restrictions. So physician, heal thyself. Let me play that by you again. We live in daily friction of cosmic contradictions in all of our afflictions, of emotional addictions, in daily superstition of self-imposed restriction. So physician, heal thyself.